Welcome to the Prenda Code Club software demo. This is going to take about 10 minutes and I'm going to walk you through some of the major functionality and how our software is laid out. This is being used both in before and after school programs in libraries and schools, in virtual programs, and it's also being used for self-guided learning to code for kids at home. It's geared for kids ages 8 to 18. It's web-based. That means you can log in using any web browser and any type of computer. Yes, that includes Chromebooks, PCs, Macs, and kids can learn how to code. It works really well in both in-person settings and self-guided settings. So I've created a brand new user profile here so that you can see it from from a blank slate and you get an idea of what it looks like that way. And again, this is going to take hopefully a little bit less than 10 minutes, but I know that can feel like a long time. But believe me, if you stick with it for these next couple of minutes, it's going to give you a much better idea of how things are laid out, and I think it's going to be very helpful to you. So with that in mind, let's jump in. I have loaded a brand new user profile, brand new character in here, and as soon as I create that character and I log in and I do a couple things, it takes me to this page. And this is, as you can see, the gear page. The gear introduces kind of the main gamification element to our software. It's gamified, meaning we're presenting the kids with kind of a reward system where if they do work, they're going to get a reward, and that's going to help them stay engaged over time. Our gamification version is that they will unlock new clothing items, new tools, and new gear for their avatar so that over time they can customize their avatar until it looks really, really cool. We've got everything from a sidekick robot to a blue shirt and everything in between. Boring and exciting. Actually, everything's pretty exciting. So the kids, as they complete coding activities and tutorials and projects, they'll unlock new things that they can use to customize their avatar. There are two main modes of learning in our software. There are workouts and missions, and you can see both workouts and missions in a couple different places. You can see it up here in the top menu bar, and then you also see workout gear and mission tools. This is how we divide kind of our learning modes. We think of workouts as learning new coding concepts. These are tutorials and small activities that are going to introduce new coding concepts to our coders. Missions, on the other hand, are projects. That's where they take everything that they've been learning on the workout side and they apply it towards building a real website, video game, app, animation, etc. So let's take a minute and look at each of those categories. First, on the workout side, a video pops up to tell them how this works, and it's helpful. It's only about a minute long. They'll watch that and get a feel for how the workouts page is laid out. But basically, you've got a couple different tracks. You've got the web track where you're going to learn things like HTML and CSS and some design and some JavaScript for web and some SQL stuff. Then you've got a games track, and we're going to have them working in Scratch and Bitsbox and AppLab and learning more JavaScript specifically relating to game design and game development. Then we've got a scripting track, and in the scripting track we've got drawing, we've got animation, we've got a JavaScript, we've got Python, some really cool like scripting heavy languages represented there. We've got a track for careers that's going to inspire the kids to pursue careers in coding. And then we've got a track for some maker devices. We support Raspberry Pi and Makey Makey. And last we have a track for robotics devices. We support Sphero and Ozobot. Both of those are codable robots. So all of that, it's a lot of content in there. If I click into one of these, you can see what it looks like. So I'll click into Scratch. Scratch 1 starts off with this activity. This is just a short, like 5 or 10 minute activity. So it's got some instructions here, and then it's got a link. You click the link and it opens up a new page in Scratch, and then you simply follow the instructions here and do whatever it's asking you to do. For example, this first one says in the sprite section on the bottom right, click on the blue hero rectangle. So you'd go to the sprite section on the bottom right, click on the blue hero rectangle. And it's going to ask you to play your game, and you control your avatar, or you control your sprite. and you avoid the apple, and you get more points every time that you avoided the apple. And so in just a couple minutes, we gave the kids a super rewarding experience in the coding world where they built their own game. They would come back here and click the done button and move on to the next thing. And this is going to lead them to a short tutorial, and as they go, it's going to get progressively more complex, and it's going to teach them new concepts, and it's going to be a lot of fun. When a coder finishes the last task of a workout, they'll click the final done button, at which point they're awarded a piece of clothing. In this case, it's a blue shirt. Takes them back to the gear page, and they can add that shirt to their avatar. Over time, they'll have dozens and dozens of items here that they can choose to customize their character with. As you can see back on the workouts page, Scratch 1 is done and Scratch 2 is now available. That's the basic idea on the workouts. Let's click over to the missions and take a look at what we have there. Again, a quick explainer video telling you how this works. Close out of that. Currently, I have 4 missions that are available to me. Over time, I'll have more and more as I complete more workouts. I'll just click into one of these here. Celebrating good times. All of the missions are laid out the same way. They have a story at the top. They can choose where they want to build this project. For this project, I could build it either in Scratch or in CodePen. And then there's a series of checkboxes that are the requirements for this project to be counted as done. The coders will work on their project, and they get to use their own creativity and ingenuity and build something really cool. We're big believers in project-based learning at Prenda. They'll check off the checkboxes as they go. They'll copy and paste their project link here, and they'll click the done button to receive their reward. All rewards from the missions go on the right side of the page. So let's recap. You've seen our 2 main modes of learning: workouts, where you learn new coding concepts, and missions, where you apply those towards building real coding projects. And then there's a portfolio page, and this is a place where they can proudly display all of the amazing projects that they've built over time. Our system is designed so that kids can go at their own pace and they can work on whatever looks interesting to them. These are fundamental beliefs about how we believe kids ought to learn. Great, now let's shift gears and take a look at the admin dashboard. From this admin account, you can add new programs, new before or after school programs. So I have a couple that I've created in the past. Each after school program can have a registration code so that your kids can register for that program and be associated with it. We have a page where you can see attendance for those programs. There's a function so that you can send messages to all of the parents in your library or school through our app. It's a page where you can add new administrators. You can see a list of all of the coders associated with your library or school, and you can reset their password if you need to. And most importantly, you can run statistics. And you can get a really nice report for the specific things that you're looking for based on usage or based on demographics. From here, from the admin dashboard, you also have access to our help center and our training center, and a quick way to contact us for support if needed. At the end of the day, we believe Prenda's Code Club software is an amazing choice for kids to learn how to code, both self-guided and in a Code Club setting. We'd love to work with you and get coding education access to the kids in your community. Reach out if you'd like a demo account or if you'd like to get a quote for your library. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go build something awesome.